You ready? Oh, look at that ready face. Look at that ready face right there. Oh, she's so ready. All right. Hello and welcome. Houston, we have a problem. Episode number 432. I apologize. I never got to a show on Friday. I totally forgot that I was taking my aunt to lunch. And good thing she reminded me the night before. She's like, we're doing lunch, right? I was like, oh, yeah. Oops. It happens. I had planned to do the show on Saturday, but then we had our first nice day in Seattle in 6 months. And I mowed the lawn and did outside things. I threw the baseball for a bit. My arms are very sore. So yeah, I enjoyed myself. So I apologize. But here we are. We are warming up to earnings call, which is next Tuesday. So 7.5 days from like right now. Ooh, baby. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? I ended up buying some weekly options this week just to see, because things bottoming out a little bit below $14. I have a feeling it can go up $1 or $2 sometime in the next week. They might be totally wrong. I might hammer it down some more, but degenerate gambling time. Let it ride. That's where I am. So yeah. It's rock and roll time. So my gut still stands in that I think GME is going to blow earnings out of the water. Number one. Number two, I think they're going to announce a dividend. Now that one is way more speculative on my part, but if they would offer a dividend of 25 cents a share, that comes to about $1 per year per share. Last year they did 400 million in earnings. I wouldn't doubt if they beat that this year. I think they can do it. I think they got the money to do it. So yeah. And that's where I'm sitting. That's what I think is going to happen. Right. Let me, this one. Ooh. Oh, off. There we go. Okay. I forgot to mention the last couple shows. Head over to this GoFundMe. There's a link in the description. It's for Ann Arbor. She wrote a memoir dedicated to her mother, who recently passed, and she's trying to self-publish it and needs a little bit more change to get it self-published. So by all means, head over. You can read excerpts and find her story, and it's good. So head over there, click the description, or if you can read this off of there, hit it. Give her some dineros and help her get that memoir published. It's good. Did I have anything else I want to talk about? I don't think so. It'll come up as it comes up. Casey Chapman was first. Good job. Fishonne. Second first. Fishonne. How do we say that? Who's the greatest athlete in the world? Someone who comes in first and third in a masturbation contest. And that's some incredible recovery time. Give me that. Stanley Sapien, 8th. No. I'm tired, boss. One moon. Soon moon, son. Avocados, question first, second, third. Milk flavored soda's here. Stanley Sapien's here. Jason Blackwell, Houston. I got caught stealing a calendar. I got 12 months. Fishness. Criminal. Bleh. I'm trying to live my life without stress. Okay. It's time for it's a first time podium finish for me for Chris T. Pilot to the moon. We're almost over the target. Counterfeit shares everywhere. Securities sold, not yet purchased. Rico. Oh yeah, there was a thing that came out. Someone did an analysis of GameStop shares and discovered that something like 25 billion shares had traded since 2021. Have you guys sold your shares 83 times over since then? I haven't. I'm wondering who has managed to sell their GameStop shares 83 times over and over again to get those numbers. That seems like fishy to me. And it's that way across the board for a host of these heavily shorted stocks. The numbers don't make any sense, which just implies that price is completely devoid of reality due to their actions. Fishonez. BBY about to fuck or nah? I think most things got pushed off in the court hearing. I didn't hear anything about anything on the 14th, which was the next date they had for their court hearing stuff. Now we're going to have to wait for April. I literally do not think anything happens with BBBY until the pump and dump case is done. And why the pump and dump case is taking as long as it is makes no sense to me. It seems like something a judge could easily just do a bench ruling and go, it's this way, and be done. I mean, how long does it take to read 20 pages? And then go to the 16B in the law book and go, oh yeah, no, this applies, dismiss. I don't understand. I don't. Fishness, should I buy Enron or Lehman? I would probably buy Lehman at this point because apparently there actually is a whole bunch of money left over. So that's what I heard. There's a whole bunch of money left over on Lehman that should eventually pay out shareholders. So I would lean towards Lehman on that one. Scott Paul's locked and low. GME calls short term and long term. Get it. I am so excited for next week. Question is, Houston, do you actually play professional baseball? Is there anywhere to look for up for stats or highlights? I don't know. I doubt. Let's see here. Let's see here. They have. This is the Kufstein Vikings. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm looking at. Turn off the earth. Turn on the Chrome. There we go. Okay. They have. I don't know. So this is the Kufstein Vikings. This is who I played with back in the day. Looks like they got second last year in the Bundesliga, which was Division 1. I wonder if anyone still playing on this team who I'd recognize. I doubt it. These were probably all kids when I was there. I don't know. I don't see anything about stats here. I mean, it was 22 years ago when I played with them. I don't know if they kept any of the data. A long time ago. Oh, something different. Turn off the nighttime one. Monkey Butt, this is all your fault. Turned off the daytime one. Oh, the After Dark one is you have to scroll down to see it. That's why I'm not. Okay. Confusing when market crash. Feels like we are very close. I'm considering loading up on UVXY. I would love for that time to come. I don't know when the banks are finally going to admit they're not getting paid for all those real estate bonds. And when they start to announce that stuff, that's probably when I'll be jumping in. James Rudy's here. Chris Taylor's here. Fishnez, show us those toes. You know, I don't show toes for anything less than $1. So, and even then, usually it's fuzzy socks. In today's case, it is Costco socks. So if you want to see some Costco socks, put some money in my coffer here. Bitcoin, when GME drops close to $12, I always buy a few hundred shares. I mean, that seems to be the ultimate floor, is around $12. I don't know if we'll get to $12 before Tuesday. They might try. They got 2.5 million shares that they can dump onto the market and drop that price. But who knows? Maybe some people might be strategizing and saying, oh, well, if we hold on to this, wait for a good earnings call, and then sell, we can make much more money on the way down. But yeah, it's strange. Cobb does a homer. What happens to a put contract if a company does a 3-to-1 reverse split? I was thinking New York Community Bank. Generally, if I remember correctly, the strike price goes up by 300%, and the number of shares in the contract drops by 67%. It makes things weird. I usually just try to avoid options around times that they do splits like that, because I've never managed to get it to work out for me. So I just wait until after the split, and then I go with the put contract or whatever. Yeah. Michael Harrow, Houston, is ramen a major food group as part of a balanced meal? I think it has most of the food groups. You got your grains, that's the noodles. You have your synthesized meat broth, which is the powder. You usually have a couple of like chives or green onions in there, maybe parsley mixed in. So you got your vegetables. So I think the only thing you're missing is dairy. So, you know, have yourself a glass of chocolate milk with it and you're good to go. You have yourself a nice rounded meal and more sodium than you could ever possibly imagine. Purportedly stupid. That is a line of chat I can get behind. Show us your feet, Houston. Again, got to fill my coffers if you want to see toes. Houston, your dog looks sick. Give her the best life. You've lasted the test of time on YouTube. You deserve it. Mad doing, bro. Monkey is a sick dog. She's totally sick. She's totally sick. Look at this dog. Look at her. Look at her. Yeah, aren't you? Criminal side eye. That's what I'm getting right there. Criminal side eye. Yeah, that's what you're giving me. Look at that side eye right there. Yeah. What's happening? Why am I giving you the butt scratches? That dog, she's like, he's talking to the wall and he just turns around and abuses me. Zimagawa Nub is here. Michael O'Hara, Houston, do you think the reason there are no SEC or FINRA whistleblowers is because they don't want to get assassinated like the Boeing guy? Yeah, I read an article today about the Boeing whistleblower who was found dead in Charleston, and I am going to say he was straight up murdered. I do not think that man was suicidal. I think he was excited to testify. He apparently was just like hitting home runs in his testimony the day before. He was scheduled to come in, and then for some reason he's just dead in his truck. I want to read if there's GSW on his hands, because like the cops are like, well, he shot in the head and he had his finger on the trigger of a gun. I mean, yeah, everyone's seen a fucking TV show and a movie where you shoot someone in the head and you put the gun in their hand. I want to know if there's GSR, gunshot residue on his hand. Is there gunshot residue? Is there? Did he pull the trigger? Like what? Come on. I doubt it. I don't think that dude killed himself. I think the Boeing execs should be gone. Hell, at this point, nationalize SpaceX, nationalize Boeing, revamp them, launch them with someone else in charge of all that stuff. Houston, This is from Yanni. I'm half seriously thinking about starting a CPU gold mining op. Gold's at all-time high of $70 per gram. So how much do the chemicals, etc., cost to get the good stuff? A couple $100. You can get probably enough hydrochloric and nitric acid and sulfuric acid. You'll want distilled water. You'll want precipitates. I can't remember all the names of precipitates right now. And you want neutralizing agents. You'll want like sodium bicarbonate to neutralize the acids when you want to store them for later. Because you'll have like silver and stuff suspended in there, but you don't want them to like be all burny. And then you'll want a furnace. You'll want filtration equipment. You'll want a rock crusher, so you can pulverize chips to dust. So all in all, if you were to spend like $2,000, you could probably get yourself a decent little setup to convert chips and electronics into heavy precious metals, semi-precious metals. Not too bad. You can go all out and like get a giant rock crusher and start buying like, pallets of chips, and then you're going to spend a lot of money to go through all those things. But, you can get with good like 486 chips or Pentium Pro chips, you can do about 1/3 of a gram per chip. So we're looking at $23 to $25 per chip in just gold, not counting other metals. It's not so shabby. Don's Shatum, Super Chat. Has your GME strategy for Friday changed since last week? I've never done GME options. I plan to. I have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm anxious. My plan changed a little bit in that the price dropped today, and I threw a little bit of money at options for this week, hoping that the price goes to like $15 this week. Give myself a little more ammo for Friday, and if that happens, then I can buy even more options on Friday for next Thursday. And then my plan is, if the price goes up a significant amount, a couple of dollars Monday or Tuesday, I sell those, use about $1,000, $2,000 of it for puts to hedge, like in the money puts to hedge. And then I hopefully buy thousands of call options that are $5 to $7 out of the money. I'll shoot for $5, because the price difference between $5 and $7 out of the money isn't that big. So I'll shoot for $5, and then everything is based upon GME slaying earnings like nobody's business. And if they do that, then Houston's going to take the next couple of weeks off and go watch the eclipse. That's what I'm going to do. Punch a tree. Lawsuit against Nextbridge Hydrocarbons. What happened to SEC FINRA? The lawsuit against Nextbridge Hydrocarbons is total bullshit. Like, they're saying, you investors may have lost money with Nextbridge. The price was higher when they stopped trading than when pretty much anyone invested based upon any filings that MMAT had filed on behalf of their subsidiary, right? MMTLP. It's a total bullshit case that, I think should get just thrown out. I don't think it's going anywhere. And it's by basically ambulance chaser people who work on behalf of hedge funds to sue companies like this, to try and get bad news going for them. But it doesn't work because the stock's not trading. So you're not going to affect the price. There is no price. So what are you trying to do, right? And Punch a Tree, what do you think of XRP, XLM, XDC, corrupt Ethereum? I don't know about XLM, XDC. XRP, I don't think is... talked about before. Like, you go on Reddit or Facebook or whatever, you'll find the XRP guys like, XRP's going to the moon. No, it's not. It's not designed to go to the moon. It's designed to be as stable as possible because it was designed specifically to be a bank-to-bank protocol. Like, for a bank in Switzerland to trade money with a bank in Cyprus, a bank in Cyprus to trade with a bank in Singapore, a bank in Singapore to trade with a bank in the US. It is designed to be as stable as possible so that you can make these transactions easily across borders. You do not want to have a bank-to-bank protocol that swings wildly several 100% or not. Like this week, we've had Bitcoin go up 10%, down 5%, up 5%, down 7%. Like, that's not a currency. It doesn't work for anyone to have a currency swing like that. And so I don't know about XLM or XDC. I'm sure they're probably along the same lines. Ethereum gas fees are still too high. Heck, Bitcoin gas fees are too high. And the transfer protocol is so slow. I had to pay someone $150 in Bitcoin like a week or two ago. It was $25 to send it, and it took 14 hours to send. 14 hours. Because the pipeline is so narrow, it can only do like 12,000 transactions an hour or something. That is so stupid. Like, how are you going to defeat Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover, who can do hundreds of thousands of transactions a second with a decentralized one that can only do 12,000 an hour? Oh, you can pay extra and get Lightning. Oh, sure. Yeah, to transfer the $150, let's spend another $75. Thanks. That's a really awesome currency I go on there. Stuff pisses me off. Like, it should cost basically nothing to transfer that. There you go. You know, if I'm going to swipe my card at the grocery store, it's going to cost the grocery store, you know, depending on what deal they have with the various card companies, anywhere from like 2 to 30 cents. And I buy the groceries and I'm out of there. Transaction done. No waiting 14 hours to see if it goes through and get verified by 6 ledgers or whatever. It's a really dumb, slow system. And there definitely needs to be more thought towards making transactions faster and coins more stable. Because right now it's just pure speculation on all fronts. And, you know, there is 1/4 the number of MMAT shares in existence as there are Bitcoins. And with MMAT shares, you own like 200 patents, right? So if rarity is your thing, there's rarity right there. Man, wow, I'm just going to grumble. In Punch Tree, could XRP be stable at a price like $100 or $1,000? I don't think so. I think having it as close to like $1 to $10 is probably as great as they're going to have it, because there's so many out there. There's you know, a lot of them out there, and I don't see banks all of a sudden, like, let's say you're a bank in Germany and you're just transferring $1 million over to a bank in Australia, right? And you send over your, what is XRP at right now? Let's XRP is at $1.64. So you send over like, I don't know, 600,000 of them over to Australia. And then a few weeks later, those 600,000 XRP are now worth like billions, right? Billions upon billions. And you as a bank manager are going to look like an idiot. So no, I don't think they do that. I don't see it going super high. I mean, if you go 5-year total in XRP, right? This is the last 5 years. It came out in 2019. We have a high of $6, $6.86, a low of 65 cents, and 317 is the local high from about 2 years ago. It's the standard deviation is not that big on this sucker. It's fairly stable throughout. If we were to look at like Bitcoin this time, right? Bitcoin goes from wait, that's not. How come not give me Bitcoin? Bitcoin. There we go. Nope. Why 0.0? What is this? Oh my God. CoinDesk, just give me this. Give me my graph. Give me my graph. There it is. Give me Sure, all time. All right. So Bitcoin, we've got 2021. We're at 60,000. Look at the graph is sort of the same, but at much bigger extremes. And after the local pump for XRP, Bitcoin just kept flying. So XRP is fairly stable since then, and Bitcoin is now, crossed all-time highs and bouncing around. I think XRP is not designed to be as volatile as this. It's followed a little bit of the volatility, but its standard deviation is so small compared to what Bitcoin does that I don't think you'll ever see $1,000 out of it, because it's not designed to have that. It's designed to be as stable as it possibly can, so they can do bank-to-bank transfers and not lose or gain crazy amounts of money as a result. Then I'm off. The options play, do I need a margin account, or is there a full day in between trades for it to clear? Used to have margin, but dipped below the limit. It depends on what broker you're in. I do my options trading. I know it's evil, but I do my options trading in Robinhood, because if you have Robinhood Gold, you can do trades. Once you make a sale, you can do a trade with that money, and that's what I do. So if I were to do it in my Fidelity account, I have to wait like 2 days for it to clear before I could do the trade, and this is a whiz pop bang situation, so I'm whiz pop banging it. So that's why I'm in there. Okay, but you guys put money in the coffers, so Costco socks, anyone? There you go. Right? How's everyone? White monkey? Right, monkey. All right. Where was I? That's ramen noodles one. That is dog looks sick. SEC FINRA mining. Everyone asks whose ton, but no one asks how's ton. That's funny. Hope Merchant. Grid goes down, society collapses. What's the bug out plan? No bug out plan. I live on an island. Pretty easy to control the surroundings. Family's got a sailboat, so if need be, we can head out the ocean and just go fishing. Plenty of clams and crabs and fish and vegetables to pick and berries. I think I'll do all right here on this little island. Granted, we won't have much in the way of first responders left, but because they live off island. But if the bridge blows up, I think I would come out on top of a lot of the chaos. Coffee Donuts and Homer. Mitch McConnell's sister-in-law died, crashed her Tesla into a lake. Yeah, it seems very sketchy. There hasn't been too much detail coming out. They haven't released the black box on the Tesla yet. So billionaire drives her Tesla into a lake. Weird. If she was following Apple Maps from 10 years ago, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. But today, what's going on, right? And if you drive into a lake and you're in a Tesla, you're going to try to open that door. It won't open because the pressure difference, and then the electronics go out because you start shorting everything out. And then you've got to download off YouTube how to open your door without the electronic buttons, like manual release. And by then you're drowning and you're dead. So I wouldn't want to drive a Tesla into a lake. That'd be terrifying. It's bad enough in a normal car to have to do that. Fishing hay. Ella DeGeneres also died. She drowned. They found her face down in Ricky Lake. That's a Blackwell worthy one right there. C. Jefferson 3 is here. Dear SG America Moas is here. Oh crap. The chat just reset. Now I gotta go. Cali Bull, Houston, Bruno is melting down on X. I've seen some screenshots. His account disappeared for a day and then it popped back up. He was going to come on the show. He canceled that. I don't know what goes on in people's brains. I wish I could know what goes on in people's brains. Just do this. This solves a lot of problems. Just do that and wait. That's all I can do. That's all I can recommend. Just this, and you go the other way, and you can like do tricks with them. Woo! Right? I twiddle them thumbs, man. That's all you gotta do. Where am I? San Sapien, Houston. If I exercise call options, what do I need to know? Well, if you exercise call options, you need to have money. That's for one. Unless you're on a margin account, and then you can exercise what they call exercise to close, where they sell off shares to pay for the rest of the shares you'll be getting. But yeah, if you're going to exercise options, you got to have the money to pay for the shares that are in those options. Otherwise, you just sell the option for a profit and go from there, right? Joseph Lee, do you think Biden knows about the possibility of MOS? I would think everyone in government at this point has heard of it. We are an annoying group of people. We're incredibly annoying. And we've got people walking through the halls of Congress. There's probably apes who are interns at the White House right now, annoying the shit out of some boomer. Be like, have you heard about this GameStop thing? Every time, Robinhood and Fidelity and blah blah blah. Like they're around. There's a lot of us. There's millions of us out there, and we're an appreciable portion of the population. That my guess is probably 1 in 50 people who work in the White House are one of us. I would bet. So we exist. In 2012, did you sign the MMAT investors letter to the board? No. Got a link for that? Send it to me. Aaron Southern, Houston. When Moastic moves again. Also, hi, Lil. What? I don't understand. Phil Clayton. Hope you're well, Houston. Long time no speak. As you've been doing late shows, any word from Big Ron and No Labs and their financiers? No word yet. I sent Ron a follow-up message the other day. Haven't heard back. He may still be in Italy for all I know. When in Florence, make the most of it, I think. Adam Davies here. Houston, I heard that large stars will stop fusing in their cores after they make iron. So where does heavy stuff on Earth come from? Supernova. So everything above iron happens inside of supernova. So we are supernova remnants all over the place. Basically, there's sort of a diminishing returns on the energy output of nuclear reactions, about how much energy you have to put in and how much you get out. And hydrogen and helium, you get the most energy out of it. It doesn't take very much energy to fuse them. You get more energy out of them, and the stars can burn really hot until they start to run out of that helium and hydrogen, and they got to start burning heavier stuff. And then it takes more energy to fuse it. You get a little bit less energy out than before, but you still have a positive amount of energy you get out of these things until you get to iron. Iron is the last one you can get positive energy out of when you fuse it, and then you get negative energy. It takes more energy to fuse things than you get out of them after iron, which is why they don't fuse inside of stars, because there's no sustainable process to make that happen. But when a core collapses, right? So you have all this degenerate material packed into the core that wants to fuse, but it can't because it's too heavy of an element, not enough gravitational pressure, forcing it to fuse in on itself. And you get this little band of hydrogen still fusing kind of on the outside of the core where the heavier stuff is in the middle. And eventually enough little degenerate pieces of fused material packs onto that core that it overcomes the power of static electricity. And this is the reason why when I touch this wall or this paper, right, my hand doesn't go through, because the electrons in my hand are hitting the electron in the paper and the board, and they're repelling from each other. Well, just like how you have two magnets that repel from each other, and I can take these little guys right here, right? There, Lego rare earth magnet. So these two magnets, they do not want to touch, right? They don't want to touch, but I can force them. If I do it strong enough, I can make them can't touch each other, right? That can happen when you overcome the static bonding inside of a core of a star, a big giant dying star, is that the electrons don't want to touch each other because they're the same charge and therefore they want to repel. But if you squeeze them hard enough, they squish. The electron degeneracy collapses and that entire core drops into something much, much smaller when you overcome that. Now heating up so high that it fuses iron into all sorts of things. And so it fuses basically iron, everything heavier than iron all the way up to uranium. And anything heavier than uranium is created in a lab. So using weird techniques of neutron guns and etc. And that's where everything heavy comes from. So there's I can't remember the exact numbers here, but I want to say about 5% of stars are big enough that when they form, they will collapse into a supernova. And those stars are fairly short-lived. They live anywhere from, 5 million to maybe 100 million years before they collapse into a supernova. They collapse and then explode in supernova. But it happens all over the universe, and every galaxy. There's supernovas going off all the time. There's about one supernova per galaxy per 100 years. Is around the kind of the galactic clock for that. We haven't had a visible one inside of our galaxy, I think, since the Crab Nebula, which was 1400 and something. We had 1987A, which was in one of the Magellanic Clouds in 1987, which is like a little irregular galaxy that orbits our own. But if you're in like a starbirth region where like gas clouds are forming lots of stars, you're going to have a more frequent occurrence of supernova in that region because you have big stars that form, explode, their gases spread out, add to other star systems and make more stars. And so we probably had a lot more supernova experienced locally around our own solar system 4 billion years ago, 4.5 billion years ago when we formed out of the gas clouds. And eventually the big stars all disappear. We're left with the medium and small stars left behind who last billions of years. And that's why if you look at really old galaxies that don't have much gas and dust, all you see are those really old red and yellow stars. And those like big elliptical galaxies don't have much gas and dust. They don't have any young stars. They all blew up and blew away a long time ago. So only in spiral galaxies and irregular galaxies will you find enough gas and dust for new stars to form that are big asses, and then they go boom, boom. Candidates for supernova around us, probably Antares. And Antares is in Scorpio, right? It's the heart of Scorpio. And then Betelgeuse, which is the shoulder of Orion. Betelgeuse is the only star we see as a disk. It's that big. If Betelgeuse was where our sun is, right, the outer envelope of Betelgeuse would extend past Jupiter. It's over 1 billion miles across. That's how much more massive it is than our own sun. And it is a very good candidate for going supernova in the relative future. And like, it goes supernova tomorrow. It goes supernova 10,000 years from now, and that's still pretty recent, not too far off the distance. Like, astronomical time is huge. Eta Carinae is a freaky one. You can only see it if you can see a good chunk of the southern hemisphere. So any Australians in here, go look at Eta Carinae. It is crazy. It's so massive. It's like 150 times the mass of our own sun. And it basically looks like it's blowing itself apart because the nuclear reactions are so much stronger than gravity. It's got these like barbells of material blown off. You know, I'm going to show you Eta Carinae because Eta Carinae is just freaky. Eta Carinae. Images. Here we go. This is Eta Carinae. We got sucker. Right? The stars in here, and these are the gases blowing out because the nuclear explosions are so powerful that it's just blowing itself apart. And this sucker will go supernova eventually. Don't know when. It'll be a pretty massive black hole when it does. Oh! You think it's time because I've been talking to the wall long enough? Huh? Eta Carinae is cool. I did one of my observational astronomy projects on Eta Carinae. Because in Hawaii, you can see it a good chunk of the year. I think in like January to March, you can see Atakrine, if I remember correctly. Right, monkey? You can't see it from up here, though. No. But it's a cool star. I highly recommend it. And now I'm totally just rambling as a result. Jiga Shukla, what do you think of Dark Forest Theory? That sounds very familiar. Is that the one about alien life? Yes. The Dark Forest hypothesis is a conjecture that many alien civilizations exist throughout the universe, but they are both silent and hostile, maintaining their undetectability for fear of being destroyed by another hostile, undetected civilization. No. I'll tell you why. Because you still have to do communication over a distance. Now, yeah, I mean, they could all have adopted communication via, spooky action at a distance, right? What you do to this electron happens to this electron over here, and you can communicate that way. Sure, they could all be doing that, but they didn't start out that way. They started out discovering radio waves like everybody else, right? And if they're so fearful of others, what taught them to be fearful of others and become silent, right? It would have been contact with another hostile race. And if you come into contact with a superior hostile race, they're just going to kick your ass and you disappear anyway, right? So the easiest form of communication is light waves. And so you expect them to use radio, microwave, infrared, lasers. Also, right, monkey. Shall I? Come on, machine. Do your thing. There we go. So, the cat's here, which means shwoink. All right, dummy. Come on. Here. Come on. Rub the door frame. Get in here. Okay. There we go. Cat-tail karaoke. Batman intro off. So that's, I think the likelihood of multiple intelligent races existing at the same time in any galaxy are pretty low. Mainly because of things like supernova. Stars die. They all have staggered rates of when they were formed and how long they'll last. And different habitable zones and nearby supernova. Like a supernova goes off 30 to 100 light years from us, it would sanitize the surface of the Earth and we would all die. It's very possible that there are mass extinctions in Earth's past as a result of nearby supernova. The neutron flux alone is insane. Like, unless you are underground and covered in lead, you're going to die if a supernova 30 light years from us goes. It would be like having 10 more suns in the sky. That's how bright it would be. If Betelgeuse, which is 500 light years away, if that were to go supernova, I would stay underground for a month. And even then, I'd probably end up with weird cancers. Space wants to kill you at all times. And not only that, but like if we're going to follow like the Drake equation hypothesis, the odds, just mathematically, the odds of two intelligent civilizations existing at the same time are pretty astronomical. Current calculations estimated about one intelligent species every 10,000 years. So the odds of two of them existing at the same time are pretty remote. I do think it's pretty hard to conceive that we'd have, planetary life throughout the galaxy in a density like we do on Star Trek. It's fun to think about, but mathematically, we would have heard them by now. We've been pointing things in all sorts of directions. We have heard them by now, having their TV broadcasts and radio shows and everything else. Right, kitty? Look at you. Look at you, little tub. Oh, okay. You little space alien. Look at you. You're a little space alien. Yes, you are. Okay. Stephanie L. Hi, just jogging on. Hopefully you didn't answer this question already. How will next Tuesday look? Will we see the earnings that day or that evening or on Wednesday? Also, where does one see the earnings? The earnings we posted to the GME website, GME Investor Relations. So this one here, their Investor Relations website. I'll throw that into the chat. All right, Kat. Yeah, can't throw in the chat if you're on the keyboard. Move. Move. Get your butt out of the way. Move. Keep going. There you go. It'll be posted here. I think GME posts them the minute the market closes. So usually you see almost instantaneous reaction from the market based on the earnings, which is pretty crazy because no one can read the earnings that quickly to result in that kind of instantaneous result. And then they do the call, like an hour after earnings are closed? So around the time I start my show would be, I think, when they do the call. So I'll try on Tuesday, because it's Charity Tuesday also next Tuesday. So we're gonna be raising money and hopefully raising money. So I'll start the show earlier than I normally do, and I'll try to get the call ready to go, and we can watch it and listen to the call, and either have our hearts broken or have them explode out of our chest in joy. One or the other, right? That doesn't help anybody. Okay. I turned off the troop of Batman, right? I hope I did. Yes. Phew. Oh, I did. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Can I read? Eric Lombardi. Don't let economists convince you Canada economy is doing fine. Like even the RCMP is saying a recession is coming in their federal report, and that young adults may uprise due to never being able to afford a house. Times are wild, man. Canada's spending 75% of its forecasted deficit to prop up mortgages. Thoughts? Yeah, don't do that, Canada. You got to let things correct. This is what got Japan in trouble for 30 years. Is they never let the Japanese economy correct, and it's been stagnant since like 96, 97. Japan did announce that they're going to finally stop negative interest rates on loans. So there's something. Correction sucks and it hurts, but I think it's better than what can happen in the long term, which is like setting everything up to crash. Correction is better than crash. Crash can lead to depression. You don't want those things. So Canada needs to jack up interest rates, have their housing market completely collapse, and a whole bunch of speculative people lose their homes. If you bought 25 homes on speculation for increasing rent prices or short-term rentals, Airbnbs, things like that, you need to lose your houses. Those houses need to get lost. They need to get returned to the supply for long-term housing solutions to drop the price of homes and drop the price of rent across the board. The problem is that you do have a whole bunch of people who are vultures who've got cash saved up and like, yes, they're going to swoop in and buy a whole bunch of homes to start all over again. Which is where I think there should be laws about the number of units or homes a person or entity or family can own. Like 4. That's plenty. You got your hunting cabin, you got your beach house, you got your ski chalet, and you have a rental unit, right? 4 homes. That's plenty for any entity to own. I don't think anyone should be owning like 20 Airbnbs. Like just buy a hotel. Right? Like quit taking all these houses out of the local market, turning weird neighborhoods into just full of tourists when it should be like families and kids playing around and stuff. I don't know. We got to remove speculation from the necessities of life, which is why I think water and sewer should be publicly owned utilities. Electrical grid should be publicly owned. Things that are necessary to exist should probably have much of the profit basis taken out of it. And so, yeah, limit folks. Don't let BlackRock buy 1 million homes across the United States. Make that illegal. Problem solved. Done. Wow, how easy that was. But yeah, Canada's facing a comeuppance a big comeuppance in the wake of this real estate bust. That's for sure. SJ says, "G'day, y'all." G'day. Case Chapman, RC probably told Papalia to wait until he's ready to rule on the 16B. I agree. Poor taste in porn. Everything past iron is forged deep in the core of your mom. Oh. Princess Vespa. What's with all the Elon bootlickers on the subreddit, lol? Are there a bunch of them on there? I usually kick those guys out. Man, we got hit by Nazis so hard this week. Oh my gosh. So the creator of Stone Toss, which is a Nazi comic strip, Stone Toss is a Nazi, was outed as this dude, Hans Christian Grebner. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Who's from Texas. And I posted a link to the 99 tweet thread that basically shows all his Nazi connections, how he's a Nazi, who he is, how he's found out who he is, correlations to other social media accounts that discover they're part of his. And it's pretty definitive. Like, it is this dude. He is Stone Toss. All these Nazis and Nazi apologists flooded the subreddit. I'm talking, like, most posts of subreddit, there's 2,000 of you guys in there. It gets 25 likes, right? 25 updates. This post got 1,500, and I had to ban probably 200 or 300 accounts coming in, being like, "There's no proof he's a Nazi," or like, "Nazis aren't that bad," or "You're just jealous he makes a funny comic." I'm like, ban. I'm not gonna have Nazi apologists in my subreddit. It doesn't help anybody. They serve no purpose. The only good Nazi is a dead Nazi. And if you're going to spend your time going out of your way on the internet to make excuses for a bona fide white supremacist neo-Nazi, you don't deserve to hang out with us. I will curate a group that is Nazi-free if I can. So, yeah, but man. And the last time they came flooding in was when, I can't remember which one of you posted that really funny meme of Javier Milei from Argentina. He's the president of Argentina, and he's wearing like a Batman outfit. It just looks absolutely ridiculous. And the meme just said something like, "Argentina, soon to be the world's first fourth world country." It's a funny meme. And like, oh my goodness, the white supremacists showed up in force. And it's really funny, like, you get the ones that are like, "He's not a Nazi." And then you get the ones who are like, "Yeah, it's a Nazi. What's a big deal?" And they're the same people. Like, it's like the Holocaust deniers, like, "The Holocaust never happened, but it should have." You just gotta boot those guys to the curb. Be the opposite of Twitter and boot the Nazis at the curb. They'll complain about free speech, but really, Nazis should have been bombed in the Stone Age. Like, the reason why no one will ever make me president is that if I am president, one of the first things I will say is, "Hey, Nazi Germany declared total war on the United States in December of 1941. I'm going to make it the prerogative of the U.S. government to finally end the war for the rest of the Nazis that are out there." That's it. So I would about do the same thing with the Confederacy as well. The Confederacy declared war on the United States in 1860. I'm going to end the Confederacy for a lot of these folks. Civil war shall end. We're not going to put up with this crap. So, that's why no one will make me president, because it'll get ugly. But, yeah. Salient Sapien, Houston. The delay of 16B is so weird. What's your fringe theory about why it's happening? I mean, courts take time. My own appeal, the hearing was October 16th. I figured 3 months or so to get a ruling. No, we are now 6 months later. No ruling, no idea. My lawyer friends tell me that's a good sign. That means I had really good arguments, and they've got to write something very specific and detailed addressing all those arguments. So I will take that as a good sign. But even then, my heart is still like at all times waiting for the ruling from that. The courts do things on their own prerogative, man. So we just got to wait. You can try and like nudge and pepper the judge and be like, "Hey, man, can you make this ruling anytime soon? We're kind of kind of waiting here. Time is money. Money is time. But, we just sit and wait and twiddle those thumbs, as we're so apt to do. Just zen out. I think we should make Buddha statues of Buddha twiddling his thumbs. That's what I think. That's how you achieve total zen, is when you can get down to the point you can twiddle your thumbs and be okay with it, then you've like achieved moksha, nirvana, whatever you want to call it. It's after dark somewhere, yeah. Julius Miami, Case Chapman, have you heard about Lou versus Wall Street? Oh, I haven't heard from Lou in forever. Is he still under house arrest? Low B's here. Liberty Bibberty, Houston. You said MMTLP was litmus test, which failed. What makes you think they will let GME moas? Mainly because there are way more people behind GME. And the one thing that MMTLP litmus test did for us was show how unprepared for the backlash the powers that be are with a small cap stock with a limited number of ownership. We have made their lives living hell. FINRA, people at FINRA probably have PTSD based upon having to deal with us. I bet there's people who have quit their jobs there because they don't want to deal with us anymore. And they've got Congress making runs on them. They probably have investigations from the FBI and SEC. They're facing lawsuits. Like, I think the litmus test was, yeah, we can do this and get away with it. And then they realized, oh shit, we aren't really getting away with it. They're making our lives living hell. I wish we had never done this. I think that's where they are. So if they were to try that again with GME, the first time they did bullshit, took away the buy button, resulted in 3 very public hearings and several movies and documentaries based upon that. If they were to do it again, I think it would be civil uprising. Like, there would be no safe space for any of those folks to go. People will lose their minds, and when they lose their minds, then crimes of passion happen. And when crimes of passion happen, there's no predicting it. And you know what? It probably have very valid justifications for it. I don't think they expected us to fight back the way we did on MMTLP. And that's just 64,000 investors. Now imagine 5 to 10 million GME investors who have a lot more on the line and a lot more money and like the eyes and ears of the media on that. It's I think it's gonna be a lot bigger. Aaron Salton, Houston. We all missed out on getting rich fast because in February there was a come with a ticker symbol Leon. The stock was 5 cents and the special dividend was $4.80. So you'd have gotten 20,000 shares. Well, damn, son. 5 cents share and the dividend paid 99,000. Dang. I did not know about that one. If I'd known about that one, I would have been all over that. Yogi 2012. Is Ron back in town yet? Hey, I'm bashing No Labs daily on Twitter. Ron's not back in town yet. At least if he is, I haven't heard from him. It's interesting how much bashing Ham is doing on it when they've got a very real technology. They just announced how good their technology is. And everyone was like, oh my gosh, that's really good technology. And then all I have to do is file for FDA approval. And then, cha-ching. Never heard its gag order over yet. Not until the 1st. Larry Dubs, Houston. Something that makes me nervous is the economy crashes close to the election. I think it could go to the bondless cheetah like aka Trump, especially the Dems messing around with the economy. Thoughts? I mean, the economy could crash close to the election. I mean, that's exactly what happened in 2008. Everything just got away from everyone, and they just could not hold out any longer. Home prices are starting to drop across the country. Sales numbers are terrible. No one's taking out an 8% loan to buy a house right now, especially when the houses are at the prices they are. People who have to sell, they have to sell. The distress sales, foreclosures, short sales, those things are I think happening in large scale. Oh. Monkey, there's a fly in here. Why did I eat that fly? What are you doing, dog? Yeah, I mean, the Bush administration couldn't hold it off. I don't think the Biden administration will be able to hold off what's coming in commercial real estate. Commercial real estate is a ticking time bomb, and that's just it. Get that fly, monkey. Get it. Can we get that fly for you? Can we bring it out? Where'd it go? Oh, it's a nope. That is a. How the hell did you get in there? That's a huge wasp inside the window. I've not opened the window at all. So let's get you out of here. I don't know how you got in there, bug. Leave. There we go. All right. There we go. How the heck did the wasp get in there, dude? That thing was like that big. Whoa. It's like that big. Wow, it was like that. Somehow between the window and the windscreen, and I have not opened the window in 6 months. Freaky. What was I talking about? I got distracted because of the buzzing. And Monkey got distracted too. Oh yeah. Talking about the economy crashing. It could totally crash before then. But yeah. Sujo Kozenjik. Any worries about April 8th? What am I supposed to worry about on April 8th? What's happening on April 8th? I don't know anything. What's happening? Why would I worry about April 8th? Drats Bamai? Houston. Hope you're not spending all of your funds on this Friday. Would hate to run out of fuel before the rocket gets on the launch pad. I spent a little bit. I'm making my paycheck on Thursday. Thursday I get my paycheck. That's where I'm making my big play. So we're just waiting. We are waiting and seeing. Sad Boy Incorporated, I think someone at Boeing wanted him silent. Yes. I mean, so many instances, witnesses get offed or threatened into not testifying. Happens all the time. And in my own experience, the cops don't do anything about it. The guy who sued me, I went to the police. I had 10 email messages, chats from, text messages like, hey, this guy just came and threatened me not to testify. I went to the police. I'm like, these are Class C felonies. Here's evidence. They're willing to talk to you. Go arrest him for witness intimidation and tampering. And they're like, because cops are lazy. Oh my God, they're so lazy. I had my debit card stolen once. The debit card was stolen, or my number was stolen, and we discovered that they had made all these purchases at scout.com for fantasy football stuff. They bought a whole bunch of stuff from Powell's Books in Portland online. And I called Powell's. I got the address of where everything was shipping. I went to the police. I'm like, hey, the person at this address very likely stole thousands of dollars from me by stealing my debit card number. Go arrest him. And they're like, Like, if they're doing it to me, they're probably doing it to hundreds of other people, stealing hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. Go get a giant bust. And they're like, Like, what are you? I guess you can go give somebody a $50 ticket. That's cool. Awesome. For, crossing the white line one too many times or something. Anyway. Yeah. Where am I? Oh, meow meow. If we lose the Atlantic Ocean current thingy, could we possibly get it back? Or are we screwed forever? Oh, it can come back. The Atlantic, when was your oscillating current? You are giving me the nuggy stare for sure. Yeah, if it goes away, Europe plunges into freezing coldness. The rest of the world heats up like a jillion degrees, and we're screwed. But it can come back. It'll take hundreds or thousands of years for it to come back, but it definitely can come back. But will we see the benefit of it coming back? No. We'll probably be cooked to death or frozen to death in that period of time. Julius Miami gifted 5 memberships. Lurker hunting. Buck Dot. Ooh, Low B. Keegan Murphy, Michael Haight, and Alex F. Got a couple of lurkers in there. Good job. Good job, Julio. Lurker hunting's the best. Yes, a couple of you I don't recognize. Monkey? Is it? All right. Fine. Oh, shit. Not that one. Dang it. This one. There it is. Come get it. 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 There you go. And we gotta do... Oh, I gotta turn off the nuggy stare before I do it. But, monkey large. Into the jaws cam you go. Alright. Yeah, that's your favorite part of me talking to the wall, isn't it? Okay. Where was I? Different line. Unfortunately, my brokerage holds funds from trades for 2 days, so I only get earnings instead of run up in earnings. Oh, man. It's a bummer, dude. It's a bummer. It's the one benefit of being in a shitty app that is at least I can do quick trades like that. James Rudy, if you're actually coming to watch the eclipse, you have a place to stay. I live in Lafayette, Indiana. I do not have a place to stay. If I do the clips, it'll be because my options play worked out. If the options play doesn't work out, well, I guess I'm just going to use these guys and watch it at 9 a.m. from afar and go from there. Speaking of which, I still have some left. I'm down to like 50. I've not checked my post office box today. I had so many letters come over the weekend that I have the feeling that what I have in the post office box today may clean me out of Eclipse classes. I have never mailed so many letters in my life. I've gotten quite a few back. Like, I'll be honest, if you put the return address of my address on here, I get not enough postage and I have to throw more stamps on there. This might not even be enough stamps. I may have to throw more on there, but I don't have any more stamps at the moment. One of them came back and they wanted $5 for me to send an envelope with like 6 thingies in there. So I just kind of scratched out my return address and I just put it in the mail again. My guess is the post office will be like, or whatever. So yeah, speaking of Eclipse and Eclipse classes, I may not have any more after today. So many letters came this weekend. Okay. Jay Houston, you're having Bruno on anymore? No, he canceled on me. He was like, nope, not going on the show. He said he wasn't going to talk to anyone anymore, but he's been posting up a storm on Twitter. And, you know, he does his thing. He can explain himself to people there, I guess. Travis, Michael keeps pumping FSR. Fisker, how do you feel about this? Any deep value? We talked a little about Fisker last show. Fisker basically has 1 year worth of money left. They got bought by a Chinese company. Their designs and everything. I do think they are just the prettiest cars made today. They've been the same design for like the last decade, and they are gorgeous, gorgeous cars. They had really shitty Iron Duke engines in them. GM Iron Dukes. They should have gone with something higher performance, like a Chevy LS, if they're gonna be that cool looking and try to grab that market as best they can. Because they're hybrids, they got the battery banks, the plug-in hybrids. So they should have the performance credentials along with them. They just came out with an SUV. Who knows how much they'll be able to sell in that time. But they're definitely going to need to have more money behind them. And then someone had mentioned, I thought, that like Nissan might try to buy them, which would be interesting. because I don't know, they are super gorgeous cars. You guys ever seen a Fisker? They are pretty cars. These guys, they're just excellent lines on these suckers. Just super good looking. The SUV is like kind of, generic, but that is a mean, muscly looking car. I would totally drive one of those if they weren't electronic nightmares. Maybe they've ironed that out since they first came out. But I know people that LS swapped them, and they haul ass after they get like a big Chevy V8 in them. So I think they're just the prettiest car currently out there. I'd rather have this than a Tesla. Teslas are kind of boring looking. These suckers, though, sexy. Look at those lines. Those lines are so sexy. Absolutely just gorgeous cars. Well, you guys can't see monkey butts in the way. Maybe we can move. There you go. There's a good looking car right there. That is how you design it. Anyway, Fred State Productions. I was talking to a high-ranking office in Acme. He agrees they are being attacked and can't figure out why the board is sitting on their hands. I've reached out to them and crickets. Yeah. A white knight could totally crack this thing open so easily. There's only 5.7 million shares there in the float, right? So if somebody has $25 million, they can buy up the entire float and then some. Imagine one entity in a single trading day going out and purchasing 10 million shares of a company that only has like 6 or 7 million shares in its entire total shares outstanding. They buy 10 million shares in this company. And then they, file their 13F, announce that they are a majority owner of the company, and then reveal via press release that they own twice the entire float. The hell that would break loose on that would be insane. Right? You would bring down probably every major market maker and every single solitary hedge fund that shorted these guys in an instant. And it cost you $25 million bucks, maybe 30 million. If you're worth hundreds of millions or billions, why not? Why not make an example of them and then basically tell them, if you ever do it again, I'll do it on another company, right? That seems, or you buy up every single solitary share and then several million more on top of that, and announce you're going to take the company private at a cost of $1 million a share. Then the PILs come pouring in. You maintain your ownership of the float. Then you get $1 million a share for anything above that. You would become a cajillionaire without having to spend a dime over just the purchase price of the shares. The PILs would all come in for it. It'd be pretty remarkable. Someone out there, to the honeypot. Just do it. Crush these assholes. Just made me thought this was a baseball channel. Sometimes. I'm getting my arm in shape. I am going to have my arm in shape for the 4th of July game this year. I did not do that last year. My shoulder is very sore right now, and my fastball is very, very, very slow. And I couldn't throw a strike to save my life. I went to the elementary school up the street. They have a nice, covered play area with a concrete wall. And I put tape up, made a strike zone, measured out 60 feet, 6 inches, and I couldn't throw a strike to save my life. I basically was like, I'm not going to leave until I throw a strike with my cutter, my split finger, my four-seamer, my knuckleball, my curveball, my slider, my changeup, and my forkball. Those are my pitches. All the ones I can throw normally for a strike, or at least good 20 years ago. And I ended up throwing a lot more balls than I ever planned on doing it because I could not hit the broadside of a barn. But that's what happens when you get out of shape and out of practice. And it takes a long time to get back into it. But Wednesday, I'm going to go again. I don't know how much juice I'll be able to have in my arm. I'll probably still be pretty sore by then. But I'm going to pitch an inning in the old timers game this year. It's not just going to be the kids fresh out of college. The old guy is going to pitch an inning. Dimitri Maximoff is here. The chill face. So the degenerate play is outside of your previous GME plans you fill us in on? Yes. I looked at the price today and like they hammered down pretty far. I'm going to buy some call options. So I bought 24 of them in the money for this week, or at least time it was in the money. It's at $14. And I'm hoping that by Wednesday it goes above 14 and I'll just cash it out and add that to my coffers for my Friday play. Oh, there's the reset of the chat. Where'd you go? There we go. Okay, Snurtlert. Oh, Houston. Do stocks on the export market have the same reporting requirements like normal stocks when somebody buys, let's say, more than 10% of the float? Thanks in advance. I have no idea. Because a lot of those companies in the export market don't have a board anymore. They probably have some like bankruptcy admin. And so who knows if reporting has to be done on that. If anybody knows that, I would love to hear about it. I'm not even sure how you'd have to search that. Because it seems to me like, you know, if you got $1 million, you could probably buy up all of Lehman Brothers and then some and be like, I own Lehman Brothers now. Dimitri Maximoff, GNS bumping to 65 cents. So GNS is doing stuff again here. Someone asked me about GNS on Blue Sky earlier, and I was like, I don't know. So after hours, pumped to 66. It's currently sitting at 64. This is quite the spike. It was at 29, so it's gone up 30 cents since, what's the day on that? Since the 13th, which was Wednesday. So it's gone up 100% in a week. You guys can't see what I'm looking at. This is where it was in the summer, right? It was doing stuff, having crazy spikes last year. Its last big spike was August 28th. It's at 230 and then hammered down. And now we're having a little spike again. So the volatility's back. We're looking at, what's the 5-year cycle on the sucker? Pretty high in 2022. Huge drop. Big heights in February of last year, down. Heights again last summer, down. I don't know what's going on. Everything in the news? Well, there we go. Genius Group merges with OpenEXO to expand global AI education. Oh, there you go. That's what they did. They announced a merger. Help if I looked at the headlines. So that's why GNS is pumping right now. They're merging. Are they the acquirer or are they being acquired? Genius Group Limited, a leading ed tech and educational education group, has quit pumping the ads. Announced a merger with OpenEXO, an AI-driven global community to accelerate the creation of worldwide AI education group. The merger aims to serve 100 genius cities and prepare 100 million students for the future, with a vision to reach $1 billion annual revenues and establish 100 genius cities within the next decade. The strategic move combines Genius Group's educational platforms and OpenEXO's expertise and exponential thinking to upscale education and organizational growth. Okay, so who is acquiring whom? Who is acquiring whom? Rally, Genius Group, tasked with build group structure business following the merger with Fat Brain AI leaves Genius as the parent company with Fat Brain assets, existing wholly owned subsidiary. Okay, so looks like GNS is going to be the one on top. Word. All right, good to know. Good to know. Rosé Productions. Bill Clinton had his political start via his uncle connected to organized crime. Ronald Reagan also had his start. The organized crimes standing, they could get him to do whatever they wanted. Okay. Well, I mean, the Kennedys were organized crime. That's what they did. They were bootleggers. That's how they got their fortune. I mean, got CIA leadership with Bush Sr. plus Prescott Bush was a contractor for the Nazis during World War II. There's a lot of connections to crimes and people in power. And, you know, you go from gangster to dignified aristocrat pretty quickly. Well, half the hedge funds out there got their start laundering money for the New York mob. So, like, organized crime is a big part of a lot of that stuff. Beach Max Mouth Shorts never covered the divvy from 3 months ago. Maybe they are now. Who knows? Not me. Not me. Corporate Walnut. I ate raw garlic and I'm so goddamn nauseous. Have you ever heard this? I've never gone my way to like eat raw garlic without like, you know, I don't know, mincing it, putting it into a salad dressing or something. But normally it gets cooked into things. I'm sure people don't want to hang out with you. You probably smell terrible. David Brooks. Just initiated transfer of the remaining shares of MMTLP from Schwab. Interesting chat with Schwab rep requiring signature for FedEx delivery of shares. If not able to sign or shares get lost. Wouldn't it be an interesting lawsuit to obtain value of lost shares? That would be interesting. Like, where would they get, like, if they lost your shares, where would they go and get more of them to replace them with? Right? And if somebody ends up with your paper shares because they get sent to the wrong building or something, do they just go to AST and be like, hey, I'm going to register these? But then the AST is like, but our electronic register has them under somebody else's name. It'd be interesting to see what happens there. May the MOAS be with you. The MOAS is strong with this one. Dragon. Jesse's here. Chad Clifford, I just arrived. I'm so excited for GME earnings. How about you? I am a flutter. I'm really, 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 really hoping that this thing hammers home. My goal. I'm telling you, my goal is before close on Tuesday to have thousands upon thousands of calls that are $5 above the closing price. That's my goal. And we'll see where it goes. If it fails miserably and they hammer the stock price down, I'll get my money back on the 40 or 50 puts that I buy. Right? Because I'm going to buy those at the money. If it drops $5, then, you know, I get my money back and I'm okay. But if it hits the way it hit last year, which was an $11 gain after hours, I think it was $7 or $8 the next morning, then Houston doesn't have to work for a while. And that would be really lovely. And if it hits bigger than that and we see the return of volatility, such as huge earnings plus dividend, the stock could do weird things. And it could be, you know, private island time. And that is the gamble I'm taking. I'm either going to get my money back or private island. And I think it's too tempting for me to pass up, so degenerate gambling it is. And who knows? Maybe for some reason they will make that thing flat as a pancake. It'll trade sideways for no reason whatsoever, and I'll miss out on both. That's a very small percentage play in my mind, but it's possible. But I do think that GME is going to crush their earnings estimates, and I think it's a very high chance that they announce a dividend. Man, it'd be awesome if they announced a dividend. Okay. Yoga 2012. It's too late to sign if you haven't already, but we will be doing an addendum for more signatures. I'll let you know. Oh, it's the MMAT board thingy. Okay. Snow alert. Yes. Do stocks on the export market have the same reporting? Oh, you asked that one already. I answered that one. Okay. Sincere 206. I bought a couple options for expiry on the 28th. If they hit this week, I will YOLO the profits and more calls to 20th again. Yep. It's pretty good plan. Snort Wasabi's here. JL 2023, bring on Hostile Aliens 2028. Come on, Hostile Aliens. Kevin, tuned in late. Does Friday being closed market, does that change anything for the options play? Next Friday being close marked. It means normally GME does their earnings on Wednesday, but they're doing their earnings on Tuesday now. They seem to like to have 2 days between when they do their earnings and when the close of the week is. I think GameStop would be better served if they actually did their earnings the day before the week closed. So if they kept this Wednesday and they killer earnings, they would almost guarantee that their stock would close at a much higher price on that Friday or that Thursday and trigger a gamma squeeze for the next week. But for some reason they like doing it, like leaving 2 days after their earnings for until that Friday closes, and that's just what they do. I don't know why they do it that way, or should they explain it to me? But like IEP does their earnings on a Thursday, so if there's good earnings Friday, it can affect the stock price with gamma. Crayon Green gifted 5 memberships. David Wright, Hans R, Big GC, Mr. Lasuna, and Chris T all got things. Well, there's at least 1, maybe 2 in there that I don't recognize. So the lurker fishing continues. Robert Pierpoint. If we receive signals from other civilizations, those signals could be from thousands of years ago. Exactly. So the whole point of the Drake equation takes into account the vast distances between star systems, right? And so here in the U.S., or it's here in the U.S., on planet Earth, America's the world, on planet Earth, we've been doing radio signals since, what, the 1920s? Right? When the first radio broadcast went out. First TV broadcast that we sent out into space was Hitler at the 1936 Olympics. Way to go, humans. So about 100 years of broadcasting. So our broadcasts have made 100 light years. Now, how close have we come to wiping out all of civilization? Probably pretty close a couple of times with war and nuclear war. Now with climate change. So let's say from when you broadcast to when you ultimately annihilate your civilization through catastrophic climate change or through nuclear annihilation, you get maybe 200 years. So 100 years from now, we're dead. We've killed each other. We're gone. We're not broadcasting anymore. The Earth is a barren wasteland. And those signals go out and they keep going out. And 1,000 years later, they hit another planet that has the ability to receive our signals and go, oh my God, we're not alone. So they mount a mission and they fly here. And what they discover is the ruins of a once great civilization that's been turned to dust. And they go, oh, we were too late. Or our broadcast goes out into space, and then for thousands and thousands of years, and then 5,000 years later, somebody appears, and by the time our broadcasts have blown by, they just think they're alone, right? Because they missed it. They were just too late. So the Drake equation takes a lot of that into account. Hulk Hogan, Marantz is all the information you need. Anyone else just steals the info and uses it without showing how they came up with the DD. Marantz is an asshole. I don't recommend Marantz. Anyone subject themselves to Marantz ever. Fuck that guy. So, just ban me Marantz. Marantz sounds like a pest control company. All right. Kelly Reed. Yellen says she regrets saying inflation was transitory. Wait till she apologized for saying we're going to be in a soft landing. Yeah, I mean, everyone who's ever said we're going to have a soft landing, anytime we've had a market crash, has been wrong. Let's see if we can find... All right, here we go. Let's here you go. Soft landing 2007. Fed chairman predicts soft landing for U.S. economy, February 15th, 2007. Did the largest financial crisis since the Great Depression happen in that time? Let's see. Soft landing 2001. Here's Washington Post. June 21st, 2000. A soft landing? Modern economics makes itself intelligible by adopting everyday technologies if inflation worsens. So here we are talking about soft landing right before the dot-com bubble burst. Can we do soft landing 1991? Here's Brookings. Federal Reserve is concerned about inflation, raises interest rates, slow pace, economic growth. They had a soft landing in 1991, which led to a pretty widespread recession, which led to George H.W. Bush losing re-election. Every single solitary time they claim a soft landing. Here's New York Times saying the same thing. You're going to see a soft landing, soft recovery? Every single time they get mass layoffs, the Dow retracts a whole bunch, and political fortunes completely flip on their heads. So I think every time someone predicts soft landing, it has not happened. So there you go. Soft landings. So there's soft landings for you. Low B gifted memberships. Avon Ox, Alt F for Press Them, Mike Housen, Question House, Javi A, David Horrigan, Walt the Man in the Middle, MS, Phil Mantan. There is several in there. There's one, two, three, four, five. You got 5 in that one that are lurkers. Good job, Low B. Nice. All right. Michael Harrow, I'd vote Houston for POTUS. Some people just like to smash Nazis. I think every Nazi deserves to have their face punched. Turkish, damn it. The removal of daylight savings sent me back an hour in time. Houston, where's the money, Lebowski? Where's the money, Lebowski? Liberty Baby. But they U3'd MMTLP so they wouldn't crash the market. What do you think would happen when GME squeezes with 5 to 10 million vote investors that won't sell? The market, GME was on the brink of bringing the market down when the price could potentially get to $1,000 a share, and that was bringing the market down. And the shorts weren't even closing when the intraday high went to was it 480 in January 21. Yeah, the power of bringing this thing to its knees is so great. And what's going to happen is either we get a squeeze from one of these stocks that brings everything to its knees, or commercial real estate bubble pops so bad, brings the banks down, that we get a squeeze anyway. Because all these stocks negative beta when all the other things are dropping, because their margin drops, their collateral drops, their collateral drops, their margin explodes. So which one's going to happen first, the crash or the squeeze? Because the crash happens, the squeeze happens. If the squeeze happens, the crash happens. One begets the other because they're like on a seesaw. So whichever one happens to break first will launch the other into orbit. Terry Haugen, Ham's not bashing company No Labs, he's bashing the toxic lending. People are very skeptical of Lind, that's for sure. And they should be. Lind has a very, very, very terrible track record. Copy and paste is here. 110 Mahir. How low can GME go before earnings? I mean, it's bounced off $12 recently. Maybe it can drop. Maybe my little options play this week will suck ass because it'll bounce off $12 again. And I'll be like, well, oh well. But usually 3 days before earnings, the price starts to go. And in this case, that'd be Friday. I'd hope to get a little bit on Thursday because I'd like to reissue for Friday. But we'll see. One time here, any thoughts on ticker Rivian? Well, I'll tell you one thing. I live in a very wealthy community, right? There's cajillionaires all around me. I see more Rivians than I do Teslas. I know Rivian's not is losing money in every single car, but people here buy them over Teslas probably 2 to 1 right now. I do think they've got really, really goofy headlights, and I do not like the front ends of them. But as for everything else, I like, everything else on the car. But I do think their headlights are really goofy. Look kind of like a dopey robot. But yeah, I think Rivian needs to figure out how to streamline their manufacturing process and make them cheaper so they start making money off of them. They probably need to vertically integrate their battery systems and diversify a little bit, which is kind of what Tesla was doing, and start selling things that also use batteries to make up for it. But yeah. Donzio Shadam in Cincinnati had 2 guest rooms. Come to Cincy for the eclipse. How close to the eclipse is Cincinnati? It's pretty going through Ohio, is right? 2024 eclipse path. Let's look at this map again. Okay, so that is Texas. Going through a little bit through corner of Oklahoma, all the way through Arkansas, up through chunk of Missouri, into Illinois. I think Carbondale, or it was one of those places. It was Carbondale, I think, that had the eclipse path from 2017 cross through there, and everyone was excited to see the eclipse twice in one spot, and then it was cloudy. Up through Indianapolis. Cincinnati's just on the edge, so I'd have to travel closer into Indiana. Noted. Bloomington's almost right in the center. I might, if I go, I might try to go further south where it's more likely to have sunnier skies. So probably shoot for Texas, like out here in nowhere, mid Texas. That's probably what I'll try to do. Or maybe I'll just buy tickets to go to like Puerto Vallarta and watch it down in Mexico. It all depends upon if my options play works the way I hope it does. So we'll see. Fred Jones, Houston. When there is no return address, it's dead mail. It gets put on a train called, dead mail train, and away it goes. Really? Huh. Sujo Kozinjik. April 8th, Madrid fault line. Some shit about earthquakes and 3 days of darkness. That shit hold any water. Can I go to work in peace? Yeah. Everyone who's ever predicted an earthquake has been wrong. And the Madrid fault is a fault that can generate huge earthquakes, but does so like every several thousand years. And 1800s was the last time it ran. I wouldn't worry about the Madrid fault right now at all. Or specifically April 8th is going to be when it goes, because they're just wrong. Corporate Walnut banned French toast. What? French toast is delicious. Why would you ban that? It's so good. The problem with French toast, though, is I get it in a restaurant. They throw powdered sugar on it, and I go take a bite, and I inhale as I bite, and all the powdered sugar goes in the back of my throat, and then I go through a coughing fit. Happens without fail. I know it's going to happen. My brain turns off. I go eat my French toast. I inhale a whole bunch of powdered sugar, and that's it. Derek Kohler's pitched the honeypot to some oil guy. Yes, the honeypot needs to happen. B2B Brand. Suljo, did you believe the Rapture is coming to the Philippines in 2011 and give away everything you own? If so, then you should be concerned. If you're seeing stuff on TikTok, Sujo, you could probably just ignore it. They were talking, the people on TikTok had everyone believing that James Webb Space Telescope saw city lights on a planet far away. No, the James Webb Space Telescope saw the Aurora Borealis on a planet far away. That's not city lights. That's just energized particles coming from a sun hitting the atmosphere. It happens on Jupiter, it happens on Saturn, it happens on Uranus, happens here on Earth, happens on Mars, happens wherever there's a magnetic field. Not very much on Mars, but because Mars has a very weak magnetic field, but it can happen. Degen love. Sujo Kozenjik, would it be safer to buy calls and puts for the following week earnings call just in case it trades sideways that first week? I mean, it's always safer to buy calls and puts further out because you have a greater chance of the price swinging through your strikes. The degenerate gambling part is, without fail, there's a reaction in the after hours of the earnings. It happens every single happens every single time with GameStop. If there's an okay earnings call, the shorts hammer it down. If there's a bad earnings call, the shorts hammer it down. If there's an amazing earnings call, like Q4 of last year, the thing flies, right? And I expect a reaction out of the short hedge funds. Now, they could be watching the show right now going, we're not going to give him that reaction he wants. We're going to do the opposite, which is no reaction. But if the earnings call is really, 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 really good, we're talking beats estimates by 70 cents or more, offers a dividend, then you've got institutional investors who will climb in and boost the price, not just us, weirdos. And then all of a sudden the hedge funds are battling giant institutions like BlackRock and crap. So my play is not that they will trade it sideways. I mean, they can, but I don't think they will. My play is get as many options for as cheap as possible. Now, usually with 2 days to go on the options, even with the current implied volatility, I should be able to pick up contracts for 3 to 4 cents per share at $5 above the strike price. Which means if I got a few $1,000, I can buy 1,000 or more of these options. And if the price swings like it did last year, that puts $500-600 per option in my pocket. So that's what I'm going for. That's the goal. Julius Miami, this NVIDIA Blackwell unveiled as Project Groot is the crash we deserve. I don't know if I saw that. Project Groot, NVIDIA. NVIDIA's Project Groot brings the human-robot future a significant step closer. Project Groot brings fully humanoid robots step closer. Age of humanoid robots could be a significant step closer thanks to a new release from NVIDIA. Computing giant has announced the launch of Project Groot, its new foundational model aimed at helping the development of such robots in industrial cases. NVIDIA revealed... Company says this new launch will enable robots to be smarter and more functional than ever before, and they'll do so by watching humans. What are Groot? Announcing the project stands for Generalist Robot 00 Technology. The stage at NVIDIA GTC 2024, Jensen Huang, company founder and CEO, revealed robots powered by the platform will be designed to understand natural language and emulate movements by observing human actions. This will allow them to quickly learn coordination, dexterity, and other skills in order to navigate, adapt, and interact with the real world, and definitely not lead to a robot uprising at all. I threw that in there. Wang wanted to show off a number of demos, which saw Project Groot powered by robots carry out a number of tasks from XXX, showing their possibility. Building foundational models for general humanoid robots is one of the most exciting problems to solve in AI today. Wang said the enabling technologies are coming together for leading roboticists around the world to take giant leaps towards artificial general robotics. The scale of importance for Project Groot was also highlighted by the fact that NVIDIA has built a new computing system, Jetson Thor, specifically designed for humanoid robots. The SoC includes a GPU based on the latest NVIDIA Blackwell architecture, which includes a transformer engine able to delivering 800 teraflops of AI performance, allowing them to run multimodal generative AI models like Groot. The company revealed upgrades to its NVIDIA Isaac robotics platform designed to make robotic arms smarter, more flexible, and more efficient than ever, making them much more appealing choice for factories and industrial use cases across the world. This includes new collections of robots, pre-trained models, libraries, and reference hardware aimed at helping faster learning and better efficiency. All right. Well, welcome to the end of the world there. Yeah. The world will end thanks to Project Groot. DRS FTW, he's right. Marantz is a douche. He is a douche. Scott Lumley, Houston. I caught a Wall Street Bets post where someone was saying that if we didn't buy Boeing, we were leaving money on the table. Do you see a recovery for Boeing, or was it a shill farming for suckers? Boeing has not even reached the comeuppance point for what they're going to be facing. They're going to be facing canceled orders, failed deliveries, people trying to sell their planes. I think Julio sent me an article the other day talking about the leasing programs that a lot, like 20% of airlines don't own their planes. They purchase them from leasing companies. And some of those leasing companies have like $100 billion in airplanes, majority of which are Boeing. And if airlines don't want the Boeing planes, because people right now are selecting no on Boeing, yes on Airbus, it's such a windfall for Airbus. Holy crap, buy Airbus. Then these leasing companies are going to sell off their planes. They're going to sell them off for cheap because generally planes have a very high resale value. Like you buy the plane for $200 million, 20 years later you sell it for $190 million. Like the resale value is insane on them. And generally, because of the stringent maintenance record and build quality of airplanes, they usually people are so focused on making them right and doing everything right. And right now, it seems like planes are coming out and they're just pieces of shit. So, no, I don't think we've seen the bottom of Boeing at this point. And these leasing companies, time will tell what the leasing companies are going to do. $4:16. I got 14 minutes. Okay. Green, nice cast. That was a really good cast you had there, Lobie. Jay Geyser. Unless Whitney Webb is right and there's a 5'9" Mr. Robot style bank hack, they can blame it on and all those derivatives parked overseas, etc. French Toast loves Rivian headlights. Oh, that's what you meant, ban French Toast for loving the Rivian headlights. Not just French Toast, like the food. French Toast, the user, for liking the Rivian headlights. Virginia Beach 757 Citadel sent that wasp after you. I think so. Confusing like some Rivian headlights also. D, happy birthday, Houston. It was classy to see that Thomas Pettifree wannabe trash you all on X for being dumb. All these pumpers are insurrectionists like Ham Short Killer John Berta. It's madness. Huh? I don't think he trashed me. Trash me on X? I don't know. I didn't see anything about that, but I don't really see anything on X unless someone like takes a screenshot of it, sends it to me, because Twitter holds me to 5 tweets a day. I can read 5 tweets a day now, and then they restrict me, which is just so stupid. Votes with Goats. Houston will catch this recording of the stream after, but popped in to say good luck on the GME play. Thank you. Be a brand like the old style headlights that don't blind everyone on the roads. It is crazy. Like, I'm scared now to like flash my brights at somebody whose headlights are like blinding me, because then they may turn on their actual brights and then like burn my skull out of my body. But yeah. Brandon Wells is here. Robert Pierpoint. I live just a few miles south of Bloomington, Indiana, so depending on cloud cover, I could have a center stage seat. You are welcome to visit here as well. Well, fantastic. I'm glad I got, if the play works out, I'm glad I've got some places that Monkey Butt and I can go hang out. Because I really want Monkey Butt to experience her second solar eclipse, because most human beings only get one of them, and Monkey Butt, being a dog who lives, let's face it, like 14 years, she'd get 2 of them in. And that right there would make her elite. Now, and if we have the right money, maybe I'll fly her somewhere in the world 6 months from now, and we'll go to where's 2024 eclipses. Where's this? Where's the one that happens 6 months from now? Okay. That'd be 6 months is October. It'd be October eclipse. October eclipse is going to be, where are you? It's going to be an ocean one. So Monkey Butt, you want to take a cruise? Here we go. This is the eclipse. Get Tierra del Fuego. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm doing. Here we go. So we got south of the Hawaiian Islands. The greatest point is going to be, looks like probably about 1,000 miles southwest of the Galapagos. So that's where we need to go, Monkey, in October. We'll go to this little butthole right here. And then we got Tierra del Fuego down here. So if we want land, we can do Chile or Argentina. So there we go. Are there any other tropical islands under there? So we can get 3 of them in for you, Monkey, and you can do like a Guinness Book World Record. I think it's a good plan. That's a good way to spend our time. Man, the cedar pollen is just starting to really just hum out there. The weather's so nice, and my face is so clogged with pollen. Your brand isn't Uranus the one with hexagonal aurora on the poles? Possibly. Uranus rolls on its side. Let's see here. I'm not seeing hexagonal. I'm seeing this. This is the image that keeps coming up. This guy here in different orientations. Maybe Neptune? Neptune, auroras. Oh, that's an artist rendering of a super Jupiter. I'm not seeing anything hexagonal. Nope, I see nothing. Question House, thank you, Low B, for the gift. All right, Greg 2124. I'm about 25 minutes behind, but I hate how consistent you have become with turning off the second intro. Those are always fun. I didn't turn off the intro from Wednesday night, apparently. So, not that consistent. And I almost did an Uggy Stare one. So I came really close. Laza, stupid question from someone who's never bought options. If they're in the money on the day of expiry, do they automatically settle for profit, or do you have to sell them prior to close the market? In my experience, I either exercise them when I think the money is really good on them, or I sell them before then. And if I exercise them, I have to have the money in my account. And with the options play I'm doing, let's say I do get several thousand of these options at $5 above the strike price or the current market price, and they trigger, or they go in the money. And let's say they go in the money by $500 an option, right? I still won't have the cash to exercise those because we're looking at hundreds of thousands of shares, which will cost millions and millions of dollars. So if I do exercise some, it'll be because I sold a whole bunch of those options for cash and then exercise the remaining options with that cash. And that's what I do. And I will still want to have a pile of cash on hand, because if this thing closes significantly above the current market price next Thursday, then I expect a gamma the next week and have the price go again. So I'll probably devote a whole bunch of money to playing that gamma play if that's how things pan out on Thursday the 28th. So if like options in the money are supposed to automatically trigger, but if you don't have the cash to pay for those options, I'm not sure what your individual brokerage will do about that. If you're purchasing them in a margin account, they will likely do the purchase to close thing where they sell off X number of shares and then use that money to buy the rest of them for you. I'd call your broker and ask them about that. Like, call them specifically and say, hey, I've got these options. If they go in the money on this date, but I don't have the cash in my account to pay for the exercising of the options, what are my options on these options? Blue Smoker H1. We just need you to point out the real crackpots on here. Thank you, man. Well, so they show up here every once in a while, and they show up in the Reddit a lot. Video brand Saturn has hexagonal clouds at its poles. It seems I saw some NASA images, some spectrum and light in my brain make me think it was an aurora. Ah, Saturn hexagonal clouds. That's who it is. Yep. I think that's what you're looking at. These guys. Bing. Doom, 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 doom. And then they did a false color image. That's probably thinking aurora there. There it is. Da, 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 da. But they do have their own aurora. We can do Saturn aurora. There's Saturn. Oh, no, that's not Saturn. That is totally... There we go. There's Saturn's aurora. Saturn does have an aurora too because it's got a big magnetic field. Martin Weiss is here. Houston. Have you heard about the glitch at the largest commercial bank in Ethiopia, which led customers to withdraw millions? It's on BBC front page. Really? Uh-oh. All right. Let's see here. Commercial Bank of Ethiopia lets customers withdraw millions. Ethiopia's biggest commercial bank is scrabbling to recoup large sums of money withdrawn by customers after a systems glitch. The customers discovered early on Saturday that they could take out more cash than they had in their accounts at the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia. More than $40 million was withdrawn and transferred to other banks, local media reported. It took several hours for the institution to freeze the transactions. Much of the money was withdrawn from state-owned CBE by students, Bank President Abe Sano told journalists on Monday. News of the glitch spread across universities largely via messaging apps and phone calls. Long lines formed at campus ATMs with a student in Western Ethiopia telling BBC Aramaic people were withdrawing money until police officers arrived on campus to stop them. The student who attends GME University Institute of Technology said he did not believe it was true when his friends told him that around 1 p.m. local time, it was possible to draw large amounts of ATMs or transfer the money using bank apps. Another student at Dili University in southern Ethiopia said a number of his peers retrieved money from CBE between midnight and 2 p.m. local time. More than 38 million people hold accounts at CBE, which was established 82 years ago. Ethiopia's central bank, which serves as financial sector's governing body, released a statement on Sunday saying a glitch had occurred during maintenance and inspection activities. The statement, however, focused on the interpreted service that occurred after CBE froze all transactions. It did not mention the money withdrawn by customers. Mr. Sound said did not know how much was withdrawn Saturday's incident, but said the loss incurred was small compared to the bank's total assets. Really? At least three universities released statements advising students to return any money not belonging to them that they may have taken from CBE. I'm sure that's going to work out well. Students said they had not heard anyone giving them money back. An official at Dili University said bank employees were on campus collecting money that STEM students were returning voluntarily. My guess is you put the card and they got your name, right? They know how much you took out. And so they're going to knock on your door and be like, give us our money back. But if you're not one of those people and you're from, I don't know, somewhere not in Ethiopia, and you put a card in, you took money out, would they be able to track you down? Interesting. Martin Weiss have an inferiority complex, but it's not a very good one. Laza, I'm in a different time zone to expire. Market close or after hours? At market close. Close of day, that's when the options expire. By 8 a.m., so I need to wake up early. Yes. Poor taste in porn. Saturn is the mechanism by which Anunnaki trap our souls after death and extract the loosh and then force us to perpetual reincarnation. Check me, atheists. Yeah. Right, monkey? All right. 4:30. Peace out, Girl Scouts. I'll see you guys Wednesday. And we'll do this all again. Right? Right, monkey? And with probably the evening. I'm going to throw the baseball a little bit. Let the monkey butt run around the park. Have a good day, right? Just give me the stare again. So anyway, I'll see you guys Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining me. It was a lovely, lovely day, even with the wasps climbing in the window and monkey butt staring at me like she's burning a hole in my skull right now, as she's doing at this very moment. And I'll catch you guys on the flip side with one of these.